Hello and welcome everyone. Welcome to Sidereal Insights Astro Update from Mystick Physick. I'm Phaedra Mitchell. I'm the artist and astrologer of Mystick Physick Astrology, and I use Western Sidereal Astrology to help you reconnect with your soul purpose and remember why you came. And what we're going to do this time around is we're going to kind of recap where we are for the month. We're going to talk a little bit about what's coming up through the end of the month. And I need to turn off my music real quick before Facebook puts me in Facebook jail, because I don't have licensing for that music to play it during the live stream. But welcome, it's good to have you. So let's talk a little bit about where we're at for the month of February. There's a lot going on. February is a lot of changes. But if you're not a part of the Sidereal Insights Facebook group, it's called Sidereal Insights Astrology. What you'll want to do is you'll want to join that group because you'll get extra advanced notifications of things that are coming up astrologically. You'll get more opportunities to chat with me. And I can come back and share a link to that group for anyone who isn't in it, who wants to join the group. We'd love to have you. We're doing new broadcasts on the Mystick Physick Astrology Facebook page, not just in the Sidereal Insights group. And that's why I encourage you to join, because we do extra live streams in the Sidereal Insights group that you might not want to miss out on. And if you'll bear with me, I've got my notes on the computer this time. Hopefully that keeps down the amount of paper rustling that I have to do. But welcome, like I said, to Sidereal Insights Astro Update. 2 or 3 times a month or so, we explore the astrology of different current planetary transits from a Western Sidereal perspective. And like I say, I'm Phaedra. I'm the artist and astrologer of Mystick Physick. If you need to look up your sidereal sign placements, you can online. I have a, let me see if I can post this. I have a link to the Sidereal Tools page of mystickphysick.com. Let me see if I can post this in the comments. Oh, can I comment while we're live? Let's try it. Control paste. Ooh, I can comment while we're live. Look at that. This is so cool. So that's the calculator where you can check your sidereal natal placements. We're going to talk about a couple specific degrees and a couple specific signs and some dates that you may want to watch out for. And it'll be helpful to know if those degrees and signs line up with anything important in your natal chart. And I will keep an eye on the comments here. I've got them pulled up on my laptop, and if anyone has any questions, please feel free to pop them in the chat box, and we'll go over whatever your questions are as we get a little deeper into the broadcast. But let's start out with kind of recapping where we're at for the month of February. So like I was saying, February is a season of change, right, and adjustment, and it is for a lot of readers because we have 2 eclipses taking place kind of through the span of February. January 31st, we had the first one. It was a full moon lunar eclipse in Cancer, and then in 2 days on the 15th, 3 days depending on where you're at in the world, on the 15th we're going to have a new moon solar eclipse in Aquarius. And because of how those 2 eclipses are positioned, just about every sign, people of every sign are going to feel the effects of these 2 eclipses, and we're all going to feel them a little bit differently, but it's all going to be centered around this notion of dealing with change, and change that we potentially don't have any control over. But early in the month of February, on the 2nd, we had Uranus resuming his tour of Sidereal Aries. Now, this is a transit that began late last April. I want to say on the 23rd of April last year, Uranus first entered Sidereal Aries before he went retrograde. And when he went retrograde, he kind of backed out into Pisces for a brief period of time in late last year, in December, and of course January, and this very first day or 2 of February. He's back in Aries, and that's a 7-year-long transit on average for Uranus to transit a sign. And so he's going to be here for a long time. He's going to shift the dynamic a little bit wherever you have Aries in your sidereal natal chart. You can read a bit more about that in the full horoscopes by sign for February, which are up on the website now. So do read more. According to your sidereal sun sign and your sidereal rising sign, you can learn about how those are going to affect you. And then what I'm going to be doing here probably in the next week or so is I'll create a post on the blog about Uranus and Aries by sign. And I'm going to do that because it's a long transit. Like I said, it's a 7-year-long transit, so it's going to be a page that once I have it live, you might want to bookmark it in case you want to come back to it throughout the next several years and kind of refresh yourself. You know, what does this mean? How can I experience this affecting me, this particular Uranus in Aries transit, right? And I'll also make a post like that on Saturn and Sagittarius, because that runs almost 3 years, so it's a long-term transit. It might be helpful to have that as a resource to come back and refresh yourself with. So I will add those to the blog, and I'll notify you all by email and probably here on the page once those are live. Venus also moved into Aquarius. That just happened on the 6th of February. That's a 3.5 week long transit. The Sun's going to join Venus there tomorrow. We already have Neptune there. And so by the time Mercury shows up in Aquarius on the 15th, just ahead of the solar eclipse, we're going to have a pretty packed house, right? There's going to be one heck of a party going on at the new moon on the 15th. And don't forget to join me in the Sidereal Insights group for that new moon. We'll do an intention setting practice. So join me for that. That's coming up on the 15th at 7:30 p.m. Mountain, and I'll post an event about that later on today too. But this particular new moon solar eclipse, if you recall from the February overview, I said that it kind of is inviting to us all to reconnect to our capacity for fellowship and brother or sisterhood in a deeper and more meaningful way. And so the ways that this can manifest, and it can vary a little bit depending on where you have Aquarius showing up in your natal chart, but you know, it may be that you are spurred all of a sudden to volunteer in your community or to join a cause. To build bridges on an issue with other stakeholders, right? Maybe you feel this powerful urge to get out and make friends and socialize, or to kind of step into a more activist role. But these are the ways that a new moon solar eclipse in Aquarius can kind of affect us on a more personal level. But it's about expressing more Uranian qualities and more Aquarian principles in our lives, depending on where we have Aquarius in our natal chart. So take a look at where that lands in your natal chart, and then read, of course, for your sun and rising sign for the month of February, and you'll get a much more in-depth understanding of how that can affect you personally. But during eclipse season, it's important to keep in mind it's common for new information to come out which we didn't have access to before. Hidden things can come to light, secrets can be revealed, and what these revealings can do is they affect us, and they can affect any plans that we have in motion in kind of dramatic and unexpected ways. And usually what happens is that those take place in ways that are beyond our ability to control. All that we can do is kind of adapt, just roll with those punches. And so what I really suggest strongly for folks during eclipse season is, you know, stay open to change, be flexible, like I said, be ready to roll with those punches, because good and bad change. I would say challenging and much more easy types of change can come at eclipse season, depending on how the particular sign where the eclipse is happening interacts in your chart. So wait to act, wait to commit. Give the 15th the space of a couple of days before you get started on any new moon intentions that you do set in February. And waiting can be beneficial in that sense, especially until after the eclipse has delivered whatever news it might have for you. So if you can be slow, if you're able to delay important actions and decisions, it's a good time to do so. And it's also important to keep in mind that eclipses can deliver their news up to 2 months before or after the actual eclipse event, right? And so for some of us, we might already have heard what news this eclipse has in store. For some of us, we might not hear it till later. And you can think of the distribution of people who are being affected by an eclipse as kind of like a bell curve, right? So 2 months out from the eclipse, it's going to be a fairly small percentage of people who are affected, and then 30 days out from the eclipse, slightly bigger percentage of people who are affected, and then the bulk of folks are going to feel the impact between February 8th and 22nd. So kind of keep that in mind. Those are the dates that you want to keep an eye on or think back to for clues as to what this eclipse is about for you. Are December 18th, January 17th, March 18th, and April 16th are the bookend dates. And then, like I said, February 8th through 22nd is the big chunk of dates to keep an eye on. But think back and see if there were significant events that happened for you or important news which may have come up. If nothing comes to mind, keep close watch for the dates yet to come and take note as to what comes up for you on those dates, especially if you have a planet or personal point, at one of those previously mentioned degrees. 2 degrees Aquarius, 8 minutes, or if we're talking about the January 31st new moon, I'd say 16 or 17 degrees of Cancer. And then for even more insight, if you're older than 19, because eclipses follow the Saros cycle, you can think back 19 years ago to what was going on in your life for even more clues, okay? Because what we experience with eclipses is that they reoccur every 19 years in the exact same sign at the exact same degree. And so what happens each eclipse is going to be directly related to events that happened exactly 19 years prior and 19 years prior to that. So they follow this cycle. So those are the dates you want to keep an eye on and kind of reflect on for clues. We do have some pretty interesting conjunctions coming up now through the end of the month, and these are some dates you'll want to keep an eye on. And degrees, if you have your chart handy. So the 18th of February, we have a Mercury-Sun conjunction, and that happens fairly frequently. I want to say like 6 or 7 times a year. I might have the math wrong on that, but I'll have to double check. But that conjunction is coming up, like I said, on the 18th at 3 degrees 47 minutes Aquarius. So all these conjunctions coming up are all Aquarian conjunctions, right? So Aquarius is the hot part of the chart this month, basically. The 21st of February, we have Venus and Neptune joining at 18 degrees 32 minutes of Aquarius, and then on the 25th of February, Mercury and Neptune conjoining at 18 degrees 40 minutes Aquarius. So keep an eye on those dates and keep an eye on those degrees especially. So look at your chart. If you've got planets or points at those degrees, you may experience something as we have those conjunctions transit that point. Keep an eye on those dates, because if anything significant does come up for you, you'll want to make note of it so you can keep track of your own significant events and your own significant transits. But I wanted to make some announcements because we've had a lot of changes happen lately. And we've had a lot of adjustments to our schedule, including the broadcasting schedule. And so now we've split out the bi-monthly update. We're doing those every other Monday at 1:30 Mountain Standard Time. That is also, I think, 3:30 Eastern Standard Time and 8:30 GMT. And then we still have on the new moon and the full moon at 7:30 in the evening, we have our new moon intention setting and our full moon releasing practice still going on in the Sidereal Insights group, okay? And so that means that Thursday coming up, just in a couple days, on the 15th at 7:30, join me that evening. We're going to have our new moon solar eclipse in Aquarius intention setting, and I'm going to create an event for that this afternoon so that you can get a reminder. Just click on going once you see the event invitation pop up. And I wanted to stress right now, like, I know that you guys can sign up for advanced access to the Sidereal monthly horoscopes, but don't do it right now. And I know that sounds silly, like, why is she telling us not to buy her stuff? Please just wait. We just released the February full horoscopes by sign yesterday. So we're still trying to get the schedule situated. We had a very booked January this past month, and it kind of threw things off track. But tomorrow I'll be diving right in on the March overview and the March full horoscopes by sign. And as soon as March is done, I'm going to be diving right in on April. So I'm going to say, give me a space of about a couple weeks. I'll keep you posted and let you know as I have everything up on the website. But the reason I tell you wait, don't sign up for advanced access to the Sidereal monthly horoscopes just yet is because you get the first 2 weeks free when you subscribe, and I don't want you to waste your free subscription. So just hold off. Save it till the beginning of March if you're thinking about subscribing to the Sidereal monthly horoscopes so that you can get advanced access. Just wait till early March. I'll let you know when is a good time to actually sign up for that if you want to sign up for that. And personal readings, I want to let everyone know, if you're thinking about booking a personal reading, I'm booking now for mid-March. So if you're going to need to see me sometime in the second half of March or April, you'll want to book now. Don't wait. My schedule is packed until the middle of next month. So I want to give you a heads up on that in case you have anything that you need to be aware of time-wise for chatting with me about what's going on astrologically, especially as it relates to your life. And then also today, check out on the Uranus in the 5th house blog, the Mystick Physick blog, Uranus in the 5th house. There's a new post that I just put up on cusps, and it is basically me re-releasing a video presentation that I did on cusps last year along with some suggestions for how you can, in real life, like practically, observe the cusp phenomena in action and kind of judge yourself. What is that phenomenon for you, and is it relevant in your practice? And to get a little bit of experience exploring the differences between the sidereal zodiac and the tropical zodiac. So be sure and check that out. I think I've posted it on the Mystick Physick page, but I haven't shared it in the Sidereal Insights Astrology group yet. But thank you for coming, and thank you for watching the broadcast, and thanks for everyone with their patience at the beginning. Now, don't forget, so this is new. I've emailed everyone, but if anyone hasn't read their email or is just catching this live, subscribe to the Mystick Physick YouTube channel. We just kind of updated things and retooled it. We really hadn't been using it before, but now what we'll be doing is we'll use it as a place to archive our Sidereal Insights Astro Updates every 2 weeks. We'll publish to a playlist there on the YouTube channel. We're also going to be gently editing our lunar live streams so that we can share those practices with folks through YouTube. But I say gently editing because we'll be editing out some of the more personal stuff that happens in the group. And then I also created a playlist for some of the existing astrology tutorial videos that I have, and for some future ones that we're going to be making. So keep an eye on that. You'll want to subscribe to the new YouTube channel. And thanks everyone for watching. We'll see you again on Thursday for the new moon in Sidereal Aquarius, intention setting practice, and time for the solar eclipse. And then we'll catch you again on Monday in 2 weeks. We'll see you all next time.